can I have another wine?
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you want it, just come get it.
A Giggle Gang podcast.
Just be myself.
For fuck's sake.
You know, sometimes people pay me to say ridiculous shit, and sometimes I just say it for free.
Jesus Christ.
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
Little Hulton, Salford.
Oh, right, okay. So you're relatively local.
Yeah.
That's good.
But he resides in Warrington.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Lowton. He's moved in with me.
Yeah. I've lived in outside of Salford since 1996 when I went to university at Padgate campus.
Right. And you've never gone back to Salford?
No, I stayed there.
You got in too much trouble. He's not allowed back.
Like what, Steve? What trouble did you get?
These local policemen still don't want to see me.
You couldn't have been that bad, could you?
It was.
No.
He says as he nods his head. So we've got Steve Harris here and Lindsey Davies. Soon to be Lindsey Harris?
No, it's debatable.
What, whether you'll marry him or whether you'll take his name?
I might keep Davis. My stage name's definitely going to be Davis.
Okay.
I wanted...
I'm not being Steve Davies. There's already a Steve Davies.
He's IS though, and I'm IES.
Okay.
So...
I love how you thought about it.
Yeah, there's already
thought about it.
Steve
She sprung it on me about a week after I proposed, going, how do you feel about being Steve Davies? I'm like, fuck off.
Girl power.
Get out of it.
Well, when I last met you, Lindsey, you were unlucky in love. You were struggling.
Yeah.
And we talked at length about your woes of men, and then next thing I see on Facebook, you're engaged.
I know, it's shocking.
What happened?
I think it shocked a few people.
Yeah, it shot me.
Didn't you propose?
Well, yeah, in the worst possible way.
Okay.
No, it's not fair. That's not fair. It's your fault it happened that way.
I knew he was going to propose. We talked about it. You know, people don't understand. We've been friends for 4 years.
Okay.
The past 2 years, we were like the best of friends, and then the past 12 months, we got even closer. Steve was going through quite a bit of crap, and I was like stepped up as a mate, and we spent a lot of time together. He asked me out quite a few times, knocked him back a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
How many times, Steve?
10.
10?
At least.
Wow, and you kept coming.
No, it weren't 10. It was a few, and then I gave up. But once I gave up, you know what they're like with validation. She was like, oh, where's he gone?
Yeah.
It was
That's
a little bit
so
like
typical.
that. He stopped giving me attention, and I thought, I don't like this.
Steve, come back.
He did
Hello.
He tried it on a few times, didn't you?
No.
Yeah.
In what way did you try it on, though?
Oh, I tried to, touch her in my bed. She was in my bed.
She's in your bed.
Fully clothed.
So, hang on. Right. Stop.
So
you got into his bed.
Oh, she's been in there loads of times. She slept in my bed for a year.
He tried to touch you, and you were like, "Oh, you tried it on this?"
No. She said, her exact words were, "Touch me, I'll break your fucking nose." That's what she said. Those were her exact words.
And that's how she said it as well.
Yeah. And
Right.
he does the accent perfectly, don't you think?
Yeah. Touch me, I'll break the fucking nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, whoa, and then he left it for a while because I used to go around his, and you was going through a rough time, weren't you? So I go around keeping company. We watch movies and stuff. We go out to
Massive UFO freaks.
Yeah,
we're big conspiracy theories. UFO alien.
Okay, we'll get
Nibiru.
That's what
You hit me with too much now. We will get back to that.
That's
please.
what bonded us. We had a lot in common. We got the same sense.
It seems like you just have UFOs in common.
No, we have a lot. It's the same sense of humour, haven't we? Quite dark
movie
sense
tastes.
of humour. Yeah, movies, everything.
Do you guys both like tikka masala or lamb korma?
I'm the mild spice. He's the heavy spice.
Okay.
We differ.
Yeah.
So there are some differences.
Yeah,
It's not all similarities.
Yeah, there's loads like I'm funnier than Steve. And
Okay. Steve's better looking than you.
Thank you.
I don't know about
Thank you very much.
I'm looking at these two.
Stop eating crisps. It's rude. So I was going round a lot, and we would spend a lot of time together. So I used to stay in his bed because it was just like we were really close friends. Like we were cuddly. We used to cuddle up on the couch and stuff. But I didn't see it as a relationship.
Did you see it as a relationship, like potentially?
Yeah.
So the whole time while she was like, I don't see it as a relationship, friends, in the back of your head, you were like, I could see this as a relationship, but
Yeah.
I'll just keep saying that I'm a friend in the hope that maybe one day she comes to her senses.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because my girlfriend has this theory that guys and girls just can't be friends. Like, it's just you can be friends, but you can't be friends like you guys are being friends. Like if it was two girls and you were sleeping over at each other's houses and watching movies, whatever, then even that's like, oh, possibly there might be a love thing. That sort of friendship between a guy and a girl, everyone says it just can never be just friends. There's got to be one person that's...
Well, obviously, ultimately, we ended up together.
I know.
But I've got
And
quite
all
a few,
happiness
Yeah.
to you. But do you think...
No, I've got quite a few male friends.
I've got his female friends. Like, literally.
Really?
I've got a one male friend, but I have to say he has asked me out a few times in the past, but nothing ever happened. It wasn't for me. But we've been friends for 25 years.
Wow.
I've got another friend.
I've not even been alive for 25 years.
Yeah, you brought us here to make us feel old as fuck. No, and I've got another friend, Mark, who we've been friends now for about 12 years, and there's never been anything like that. And we just really get on. We have the same taste in music. We go watching.
But do you sleep in his bed?
No,
Okay.
no. Steve is actually the only one of my.
I was a bit of an anomaly. We were really, really close. Very, very close.
And he even said, like, when I turned him down after like the 10th or 15th time, he actually said all he cared about was us being friends, so it didn't matter what happened as long as we had that friendship, because
it was a risk.
Okay.
yeah, that's what stopped me as well, because I thought he's such a good friend to me.
It was a risk to get with him.
Yeah, and
because we was bouncing around nightclubs and like was having the best time, just going out getting smashed, going to different clubs, pubs, gigs.
You sound like you're like 19 years old.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. Literally, that's exactly what it was like.
He's really childish.
I am childish. No, you are.
I know you are. I said you are, but what am I?
We're doing that all the time. He'll say, "Oh, you look so pretty," and I'll go like, "Well, if I do, you do."
And I'm childish.
Fucking hell.
So it kind of developed from that, and then we had a bit of a break, didn't we? After Christmas,
Yeah.
we did the Northwest Awards at the Frog and Bucket, and we got very close that night, but nothing happened. And then after that, we kind of had a week of not speaking and that, didn't we? And then it was my birthday the week after, which is Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So I get up on Valentine's Day. We'd already arranged. He said he was going to take me out because it was my birthday. I was turning 42. I was like, oh God, I really am a spinster now.
I was stuck in the house.
He was doing nothing, so he's like, I'll take you out for your birthday. And then he kind of...
Your birthday
Hang
is
on a minute.
on Valentine's
Hang on a
Day.
minute. Fucking, I'll take you out for your birthday. I got a phone call 3 days before saying, what are you doing on Valentine's Day? I said, nothing. She went, do you want to take me out?
Oh, right, okay.
There's the difference.
No,
I'll take you out. Do you want to go out?
Not
Do you want to go out? So I
take
can
me
just, for the record,
Yeah.
she asked me.
Okay. That's alright.
So yeah, no, this will come up with me.
Don't be childish.
So we went out, but on Valentine's Day, on my actual birthday. So when it's like social media, Facebook, you get up on your birthday, you've got notification after notification. So at this point, about 200 people had put happy birthday, Linz, happy birthday, Linz, happy birthday, Linz. So my blood was boiling. I'm like, where's that fucker? He's not wishing me happy birthday. He's supposed to be my best mate.
I just slept in.
It slept in. So I'm like, he's not wishing me happy birthday. So I was a bit angry with him, to be honest. I thought he would have been the first of my friends to wish me happy birthday. Anyway, about an hour later, he turns up at my house with a soup maker, which I wanted. I didn't
Okay,
want
right. He's not just been like, he's not
some marigolds, some washing up liquid.
I imagine you've gone into Aldi, you've gone down that middle aisle and been like, what is the best deal here?
Yeah.
Soup maker.
He got me the soup maker because he knew I wanted one. And,
What is a soup maker? Am I an
You
idiot
just
for not
throw
knowing?
veg into it.
like a
and
blender?
it just kind of.
right.
It turns
It just
into
makes a
like
soup in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So you fill it full of veg, and I sort of the required amount of water, and you put the lid on, you seal it, and then you.
So it's like fresh soup.
Yeah, and
no
then you just throw
added
away.
shit.
And
what
does
you
it
get.
does it get hot as well?
Yeah,
it heats
and you
it.
can have it lumpy or smooth.
Yeah, so you can have it like a big soup.
Yeah.
Or like I like for the smooth.
Yeah.
How much did it cost?
Oh, I don't want to say.
Was it a bubble below £30?
Oh, it was on the cusp.
Well, let me
Really?
tell you
Okay,
now,
that's
Steve's
reasonable.
obsessed with Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace.
It's
so
amazing.
I
Oh,
guarantee you got it for a £5.
If it wasn't
On
that, it'd be
Facebook
Of
sad.
Marketplace.
some 14-year-old
Yeah.
in Bolton.
If it wasn't Marketplace, I'd be injecting heroin. I would definitely. I'd just
That's how addicted he is to it.
How much stuff a week do you buy on Marketplace? How many items?
No, I've calmed down now because I've got a fucking wedding to pay for.
Right.
But it was probably about 30 quid a week.
30 quid a week?
Guitars.
Everything. Just something what Luke's interested in.
Yeah, games, PS4 games.
Yeah, there's tat all over his house. It's just like...
Are you a hoarder?
Am I?
A little bit.
Yeah, but all the stuff I hoard actually
It's
means
from all
and
over
looks,
the
it's
world.
from all over the world. I've got, boomerangs. I've forever been
Why about you being racist already?
Yeah. Is that racist, boomerangs in Australia?
No, not really. I don't know.
Really, is it? I don't know.
I don't
It's got a
really even
stuffed
know.
kangaroo on wall.
I have,
I've got a didgeridoo in my bedroom.
I can play didgeridoo.
So can I. I'm going to play it at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. It's going to be
Very
a great
good.
time. Are you guys going to the Fringe at all?
We're hoping to go up for a couple of days on like the 20th.
Just to watch?
I've got a cousin who lives in Falkirk. I didn't really want to do a show this year. I've been talking about it for years, but I just don't think I'm ready to do it yet. I want to establish myself a lot more
Do
before.
it properly.
Yeah.
I've
and then
definitely
go up
rushed
there.
into doing a show that I'm really
I
not
think
ready
it's
to
good.
do. But I'm there for a week and I'm there to have fun and I'll
Yeah.
probably never go again.
But
Yeah.
I usually go for
I'm
a
gonna
week.
go home.
A week every year. Usually, I stay with my cousin. I go up for a week and I go and watch shows and I'll jump on a couple of compilation shows and I think like sometimes I feel when you see a lot of like new comedians and they're like, oh, I'm going doing the Fringe. I kind of think, oh god, it's going to cost you thousands of pounds. You know, it's a lot of money.
It's
but
cost me 200 quid so far. So
That's
I
not too
got
bad.
accommodation for the week for 150.
Yeah.
I've got my own bed in a shared bedroom, by the way. I'm
That's
sharing
good for a week.
but we're in Leigh, which is like just outside.
all right, yeah.
But we're not right in the centre. But it's a bus journey in, and then it's a 50 quid train to get up and get back, and then I assume a bus pass.
Is
into
that
the
for a
city.
weekly pass?
No, 50
train?
quid for the train to go from Manchester to Edinburgh.
Oh, right. Oh, that's good.
and then a bus pass of, I don't know how much, maybe 25 quid for the week on the
Yeah.
bus. And so it's relatively inexpensive, and then just feed and clothe myself, which I fucking do here anyway.
I think the mistake I would probably make, and I suppose a lot of them do, is when you get the bucket money. You know, obviously you've got to pay for your PR, flyering and stuff like that.
Oh, I've spent
But
20 quid on flyers.
I would end up spending all my bucket money
On booze.
probably on booze and going out eating and stuff. And I think when I do go to do it, I want to be really disciplined, so I'm actually coming back with money, or at least broke even. So I could stay with my cousins, so the accommodation's not a problem. It's like an half hour commute.
You need $8,000.
You need 8 grand
If you want to do it for
properly.
the full month.
That's the last
stuff.
time I about was like 10 years ago. Somebody was telling me it might be more now.
That 8 grand is the number.
I think it depends on the
That's
venue
so
as well.
much.
If you're going through the free Fringe or you're going through the venues.
Well, I know there's one act that you guys probably know yourself, Jack Liddell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I know Jack well.
he spent a fortune to go up to the Fringe. And this week, I was looking on his thing, and he was like, "Fuck, guys, had 7 people in today," and I was like, "Oh no!" Because I know he's paid money for marketing, he's paid money for outside shit, and I was like, "What a start! Like that must be horrible." Then last night he sold out.
Yeah,
he sold out
saw
his
it.
show. And I was like, amazing, so happy for him.
I
but
have
it's
no
like,
doubt that Jack will be straight up for nomination.
Yeah.
I have no doubt at
And
all.
he's been marketed really
Yeah,
well leading
yeah.
up, and I was just like disappointed. I was like, all that marketing, all the stuff he paid for, all the articles he's been featured in. Watch this guy at the
But
Fringe.
it was like
all
the
this.
first couple of days at the Fringe, and
Yeah.
some people they only arrive afterwards. You'll probably find like by the middle of the Fringe, he's got queues. People queuing who can't get in.
Yeah.
I saw that a lot when I was there.
I hope so.
Last year. Yeah, I think he will because he's a good actor.
Absolutely.
He's a good lad as well. So I really
I love
hope.
Jack. It's very funny.
He's proven that he's doing really well. Which if he ends up listening to this, it's quite funny because I remember I think it was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we did Trip Fest together, and he was almost hauled off stage and abused because he was that pissed and come across so unprofessional and pissed, and he was throwing insults at other comedians
Jack
and
was.
stuff. Yeah,
Good man, Jack. If you're listening to this, I fucking love you.
and it was great, and to see him now how much he's
so much more
developed. Maybe he got
What a shame.
swatting that night. I
What a
don't know.
shame,
Jack. No, it's not. It's
Fame's changed in Steve.
I've a lot of time for him, and I think he will go further than a lot of acts.
Yep. I feel the same about Harry Stacchini as well.
Yeah, he's a nice lad.
And your mate Simon Lomas, which is actually on this podcast right after you.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Well, he's always at our house. We've almost adopted Simon.
I'm sick of that prick. I'll tell you.
Did you see the snake thing we put in the toilet the other week?
No.
Oh no, you need to get on our Facebook. Steve's, because it is a child. It's on Facebook. I'll show you later after the podcast. So he has this big python. Now he did this to me when we were friends. So before I moved on into his bed, before we got really close friends, I used to stay in his
He
daughter's
showed you his
bed.
python before you got in his bed.
Yeah,
Hey!
it's more like a grass snake.
Okay.
I'd stay in his daughter's room, so his daughter had 2 single beds in the room. So I went to bed one night. I woke up he knows I get up quite a lot in the night to use the loo, especially if I've been drinking the night before.
You're a woman in your 40s, you know.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
It's by the way, I've had cesarean sections. It's there's nothing. It's a podcast. I'll not go into it.
I will.
So we was in my daughter's bedroom and his daughter's bedroom. Sorry, and I woke up about 5 in the morning. I needed the loo, and obviously half asleep, and the lid was down, and I just opened the lid up. And this bloody big python jumps out at me. So I
like spring loaded.
Yeah.
No, it's not spring loaded.
It takes the head to the top
I
of
put
the
some garden
seat
string round its
and
neck.
puts it in a carry bag.
And then I fix it to the toilet lid so
Why?
you spring it on yourself
So 5 in the morning.
in real time.
5 in the morning. Still a little bit pissed.
Oh.
I'll admit, probably a little bit stoned as well.
Oh, God.
And I just yelped, screamed. And
Were you
I-
asleep or were you
No, he
awake?
sat
No,
up
no.
awake. All I could hear was him howling, laughing from his bedroom.
I was knackered all day. I had to
He
wait.
got up about 3 in the morning to do it. This is how childish he is, and sat up in his bed waiting for me to get up.
Oh, because you guys weren't in the same bed.
No, it's
so you didn't even know when she was going to
No.
leave.
I kept coughing and going and all that, trying to disturb
He
me.
probably came in and nipped me or something to wake me up. I don't know. Is that childish? But it's.
So we did it to Simon,
We
didn't
got
we?
Simon the other week and we videoed it. It was really funny.
Oh my God.
We like to wind Simon up a lot,
Such
don't
a
we?
girl.
I love it though because he's going to be slagging us off on the next
know, yeah.
podcast. Fucking bring it, Lomas, you little fucker.
What is that fat bald prick?
Well,
Can I eat a steak pasty in your car?
No, I can't. I just only validated you fucking meth.
we need to stop slagging off.
I eat a steak pasta?
It was at my house the other week, and you won't mind us saying this, right? My daughters, as you can imagine, they've been brought up to have a very dark sense of humour.
Yes,
and,
you've told me this.
Yeah, and they're proper piss takers themselves. They're like 14 and 18 now, my girls. So they argue like mad all the time, but if they find something in common, what they laugh at, they bond and they're very close. And
If you're under attack.
yeah, they attack you together like fucking velociraptors.
Yeah.
So they do it to me all the time. They bully me sometimes. Anyway, Simon comes round and he was talking, and I saw Adrian and Grace. They kept looking at one another and they were giggling, and I thought, they're taking the piss out of Simon.
Why? Because of the way he speaks or the way he looks?
I don't
or-
know. Well, I don't know what it was, but I knew they were taking the mick. So Adrian, she gets a proper giggles, and she's like almost tears streaming down her face, and Grace was holding her nose, laughing, and I thought, what they're doing, and they kept, when you're kids and you try and say you're laughing at something else to deflect what you're actually,
Yeah.
and I know what they like, and I thought, they're laughing at Simon, and that's why I'm feeling awful.
What's
thinking,
Simon doing there? Just sitting?
Well, no,
Oh,
just
just
sat,
talking.
we were
I
just
see he was
chatting.
talking, right.
And what it was, this is where it actually followed on from Simon's status after it. What it was, both my daughters love salad fingers.
Okay.
Have you ever seen it?
I have. He writes them down a chalkboard. He's
Yes.
salad fingers.
And I never picked up on it, so kudos to them. I've brought them up well. They thought Simon sounded exactly like salad fingers.
Right.
So
I thought he
it
was going to play salad fingers for
I
us.
think he is.
Oh, right.
I'm going to play salad fingers. If you don't know what
Okay.
salad fingers is, this is salad fingers. Hang on.
rusty spoons. I like to touch them.
Are you sure this isn't you, Loma?
The feeling of rust against my salad fingers.
I don't think it does sound like salad fingers. I don't know.
Sometimes when he talks,
You guys will have to listen to the next episode to
well,
be the
you'll
judge.
be talking to him later, and you'll probably start laughing randomly, and you'll get paranoid. So just do it anyway if it makes him paranoid. He does like that. But I knew he knew that the girls, because he's not stupid, Simon, and I thought he's picking up on this. So I was cringing, thinking my girls are taking the piss out of this poor fucker. Anyway, it was
this
all
poor fucker.
Yeah, it was
you see
all
the way he speaks to me.
he's a big softie. He's an online warrior, Lomas. He wouldn't in person, would he? He'd cry if anything. But yeah, we've offered to adopt him, haven't we?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's wrong with his own parents?
No, I'm sure they love it.
We're not adopting him to love him.
His mum seems lovely. She sends us banana cake all the time. Oh, you couldn't have put it on silent, could you?
It's your phone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it's your phone.
Who was it?
I don't know.
I put it on silent.
Do you know why I don't know? Because it's your fucking phone.
Well, it's what did the name not come up? When people ring and the name comes up.
No, having a domestic, guys. I wanted to talk about the happy times that you guys have shared. Starting a comedy management company that sort of came out of the blue.
Well, it wasn't. We'd actually.
It was out of the blue for me.
Yeah, well, for a lot of people, we talked about it when we was friends. So,
okay,
because we as obviously, you get to know someone, you develop a friendship. We knew everything about one another. Everything. There's absolutely no secrets between us at all. And his background, obviously, has been in the industry for like, what, 24, 25?
Well, actually, in the industry for 30 odd.
Right. So
is that where you developed your podcast voice?
Yeah, it was funny enough.
Well, Steve used to be in a rap band.
Don't bring it.
In the 80s.
A rap band?
Yes.
Isn't it considered a rap group?
Was it?
Because a band like play instruments, whereas rap.
We had
rappers.
They had instruments, so it was a rap
had
band.
instruments?
Yeah, it was a rap band.
What
so
instruments? Guns.
Guitars. Yeah, guns.
It was a rap group, then it became a rap band.
Were you guys called the Bad Lads from Salford?
No, First Offence.
First Offence, because we call it
First Offence. Yeah, I know. That's why he's not allowed back in Little Olsen.
Right.
So he had this band, but they were doing really well. He supported the Manic Street Preachers.
We didn't support them, it was a double headline.
Well, double headline with the Manic Street Preachers and stuff. So it kind of fizzled out around that time because you got in trouble, didn't you? They tied an NME journalist up to a chair and it went down.
What's an NME journalist?
NME is like a major music magazine.
New Musical Express, which is a big music magazine.
Is it still around?
Yeah.
I don't know much about music magazines.
Yeah, the NME is the biggest.
Yeah, the NME Awards and stuff like that. It's on TV. It's
like the ARIAs in Australia, I think.
Yeah. Right, yeah,
I get you.
So that was his late 80s, early 90s career. So I knew all about that. So he had that. He had the music industry. Yeah. Involvement, and then obviously he got into the comedy, and everyone, I think everyone knows who you are now, don't they? It does all the big clubs and stuff now all over the country.
Are you famous?
No,
not famous. I don't know why.
I'm notorious.
You're notorious.
I'm infamous.
Because he's a dick. It's because he's a dick, and he's a gobby fucker. So everybody knows.
I think everyone should just call me. What she's just called me.
I know. For me to call someone, I know.
A gobby fucker.
For me to call someone a gobby fucker, that's.
Jesus Christ. Gobby fucker.
It just shows though, doesn't it? If I'm calling him a gobby fucker.
I
I'm from Leigh. I'm born and bred in Leigh. Now you're from Australia. You won't understand Leigh.
I do understand.
She's bogan as fuck.
I know.
She's proper bogan.
I spent about 4 hours in one of the worst car journeys of my entire life.
Because of Lindsay?
No, not because of Lindsay. Because we were terrified. She might have been drunk, but we were terrified that we weren't going to make it home because her car was shit.
It was knackered.
It was like as we're going down the highway.
No, actually, it wasn't. It was the Astra, wasn't it? The purple Astra.
It was a shitbox. I don't know. The next day it got.
Steve bought me that car.
Oh really?
Yes.
Good job, Steve.
When we were friends, it was one of his ploys to get in my knickers.
No, it was not. I bought you a better car than that.
The exhaust. It was the exhaust was hanging off. That was the noise when I found out afterwards. The exhaust was hanging off the car.
It wasn't a great car, but it did the job. We
had a
nice journey.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Probably terrified your girlfriend to the very core.
No, when I told her you were coming in today, she was like, "Oh my god, Lindsay's so fun." She's devastated she's not here.
Where is she?
She's working, mate.
On a Sunday?
Yeah, she works in retail during the week and does a teaching retail on the weekend and teaching during the week.
So where she work? I want to see her.
Works at a suitcase store just down at the Lowry at the outlet centre.
A suitcase store?
Yeah, have you heard of Antler, the brand, the suitcase brand?
No, but it sounds like the most boring retail place to work at ever.
Yeah.
To sell suitcases.
I
could sell them.
I reckon you could sell anything.
Yeah, I was a sales manager, business development manager, sales.
The title's just changed 3 times.
Sales rep.
She makes it up as she goes along.
I'm very good at sales.
So how did you go from when I last spoke to you, you were interested in writing scripts and you wanted to write films, to now wanting to manage comedians? Are you still doing comedy full time, or are you still working part time?
No, the comedy's actually taking off for me a little bit at the minute.
Really?
Yeah, just nothing like massive, but I've always been one of these comedians. I started like 7 years ago, just as an open micer, because I wanted to be a comedy writer.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah, I was more of a writer. The thought of performing scared the living shit out of me. And the more I got into it, and you'll know yourself when you do a few gigs and they go really well for you, I mean, it becomes quite addictive. Even though now, to this day, I still feel sick before I get up on stage.
Really?
But if it goes well, it's the best buzz in the world when you come off. And, you know, there's no better feeling than making people laugh. It's the best thing for me. Makes me feel good, it makes them feel good, and that's what I love about it. And just to know something that you've written as well is getting that response. So I used to write stuff and I used to try it out on stage, more for the writing side of things. I thought, well, if it's working in an audience, it's definitely going to work in a book or a script, and that's how it kind of come about. But then the stand-up kind of took over the writing side of things.
Because you got such a buzz from testing out material, and before when she said book, she means book for us listeners.
Book. Yeah, so sorry Australia.
No, it's just the rest of the UK. Never mind Australia.
Yeah, and the rest of the UK. Yeah, it's you need to visit my.
Hang on, do you not say book?
No, book.
Oh, he says it normally as well.
Yeah, normal.
I'll say this because I say this too, daughter. One of the best Lancashire terms or Leigh terms, where the town I'm from, was in a pub years and years ago, and we used to go with some old friends in this pub, and this guy was talking about this old guy who was at the bar, and he had gout.
He had gout.
Yeah.
Gout.
Okay.
So in the Leigh accent,
it sounds like goat.
Well, yeah, kind of. But when you instead of saying get, we'll say geet. Geet that milk out the fridge. Got geet. We'll say get geet.
You've got a drink.
Right. So
you've
geet.
Yes.
Geet me a drink.
Yes.
Get or got?
Got.
So
got.
I've geet a drink.
So I've got a drink.
He's geet a drink.
He's geet a drink.
Right.
This is great listening.
So this lad who we knew was explaining the story of this old guy at the bar.
Yeah.
And he explained it as this old man would say, "I've geet get."
So he said somebody asked him what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
He said,
"I've geet get."
He's geet get.
And it is probably the funniest Lancashire phrase.
If you weren't from there, you wouldn't have a fucking clue
you'd think
what
it
was
was
going on.
fucking Venus or somewhere like that.
Yeah. But the people in Lancashire, they fucking love
this
it.
Gentleman,
Manchester's not really like Lancashire, is it? Really?
No.
But we come under Leigh is under Lancashire, Leigh, Wigan, the Wigan Borough sort of thing. We're definitely not under Greater Manchester.
I think Manchester.
So is Manchester its own thing?
No, it's Manchester's part of Liverpool. I think Manchester's. I'm joking. I'm winding him up.
I was just about to say. I was like, I think he's saying something illegal, but I don't really know like what's connected to what. I know there's something like Merseyside, and then there's like the Wirral, and everyone hates the Wirral. That's all I know.
Steve lives in Warrington, or he lived in Warrington.
Yeah.
So I've moved to a town near Leigh now, just on the outskirts basically, called Lowton, which is like the posh side of Leigh.
Really?
Yeah.
You're in a posh area?
Yes, in a brand new estate, brand new build estate. It's shocking.
Yeah. Wow.
I've gone from like the shittest council estates in Leigh town centre.
There's already a petition to get her out.
It's not. And do you know what? I deserve it. It's about time. I had a bit of luck, and I was homeless last Christmas.
You're welcome.
I had nowhere to go. I was he's devastated.
Oh, you've got to put up with the bloody pythons in the toilet.
Yeah,
You've got to have a free house.
He's devastated that I got this house because I had to. It was just certain circumstances. I had to move out the private rented house that I was in.
Devastated's a bit strong.
Right.
And that was like last November, so I had nowhere to go. I have the best relationship with my mum. My dad's only in a little bungalow. I had nowhere to live, so I thought me and the kids were going to have to go in a hostel or something. It wasn't good at the time. So my best friend Helen, who's been like my best friend since we're like 16.
Good job, Helen.
Yeah, well done, Helen. She put me up. She lives near Wigan, so it was a bit of a trek to keep going. If anyone who's listening, they're thinking, oh, why is there a pause? Because Steve's making like
wanking
gestures to me. I've just twisted his ear. Get out, let me finish the podcast.
He's been some great surprises.
My friend put us up. She put me and my daughters up, and it was hard living over Christmas period as well. So at this time, and it was stressful. We were under one another's feet and stuff. So Steve, he kept driving all the way from Warrington to near Wigan to pick us up to just, we'd stay at his for a couple of days just to give my friend a break and myself a break as well. And it was a really hard time, but Steve, I was actually hoping that nothing would turn up and I would just move in with him. Which I didn't want to live in Warrington, but he did give me a key, so he said anytime you want to come
Steve
back.
just seems like the nicest guy.
Thank
Are you
you.
like
He
this?
is,
Are you
he
like
is.
this with everyone, or is it just Lindsey?
Yeah. There's about 7 comics on the circuit that have got a key to my house.
Who stay at his house, like if they come up from London or anywhere like that, and if they're gigging him, because Steve's house is kind of in between Manchester, Liverpool.
Right.
So if anyone's travelling up from down south or from Scotland, they'll come and
Just
stay.
go. So sometimes you might just come home and there's someone. Have they ever been unannounced?
A couple of times, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I could not hack that. I'd never give someone a key.
Well,
to my
there's
fucking house.
3 rooms, and they're all like.
Are all your kids gone?
Yeah.
So it's just you hanging out?
Well, no, you have the younger ones, or don't you?
Yeah, but you only had them like in the midweek. But their weekends were always free, so the comics that had the key knew that if they were ever stuck, they could just jump a cab or a train or just turn up and go and let themselves in and make themselves at home. That's the house. I've had the house for 16 years and it's always been the same. Comics can always stay at mine.
Open door policy.
Yeah.
He didn't just want me there at the weekend, though.
Oh, look at this over here, dear.
Am I right?
You're not wrong.
So, anyway, I got a phone call from this housing association who bought a few new builds, like Bellway homes. Like, come and look at it. So he drove me around.
Was it to do with anything to do with the homeless charity?
No.
Completely different.
Yeah, completely. It was, the irony, I ended up in a homeless situation myself. I know.
And then got herself a new build just to rub it in.
I think that's just a bit of luck, which I don't have much of. And I kind of think, do you know what?
I think one of the things that you said to me when we were in the car is, I'm the most unlucky person you'll ever meet.
Yeah, I am pretty unlucky. And you said that, didn't you?
It was a worry getting with her because I obviously I've known her so well and I've seen all the bad luck she was going through, and I'm like, do I really want to take this on? Yeah.
And now looking back, I mean, are you glad so far?
Yeah, well, the bad luck's dried up, so it's, and we're doing really well with the agency, and the gigs are doing great, and we're getting work for the acts, and we've got a load of ideas.
How many acts do you have?
7.
8 now. Just signed Kevin Dewsbury.
Yeah. Who are the acts? Tell them to me. Can you sign Kevin Dewsbury?
Yeah.
Ooh.
We signed Kevin Dewsbury. It was the last one we signed. We've I put together, I think there's a big market for the LGBT scene. I really think there is. And so I signed Eddie Fortune straight away, because he's not only is he a good friend of mine, he's one of my best friends on the circuit actually. He's talented and I think overlooked quite a lot. And
why do you think that is?
I don't know. Maybe he needs to push himself a little bit more, or people need to give him a chance. I don't know, but I think I've always thought he was very talented. He's a good actor, he's a good writer, he's a very good performer, and I know he's got a big following on the LGBT. So Eddie was like the first signing, and then Steve got in touch with Jonathan Mayer, who's notoriously brilliant on the circuit, headline act, MC. We're finding at the minute Jonathan's very easy to sell to clubs and stuff.
He's just excellent.
He's
stepped up a level. He's very good anyway, but he's got over some personal issues with the death of his mother and things like which affects everybody. It happened to me.
He had a bit of a quiet spell, didn't he?
And then but he's come back from a pupil stage, from what I can see, and now he's a beautiful butterfly.
I've not like we try and chase up sometimes when our acts have done the gigs, and he's just
his feedback
smashing
incredible.
Everything. So to have Jonathan on our books anyway is
sometimes
fantastic.
It takes a dark moment for a comic. I
think I am a comic because my life's been very dark. I've had a lot of bad luck, and I've come from a really awful childhood background, and most comics I speak to,
you've got to get to
gone
a point
through some hell in the life.
And you've got to get to the point. If I find with most comics, to get to a point where it goes really dark, and they're thinking about giving up comedy and taking their own life, and then they come back and it's fucking fantastic. I see that a lot.
Donald Mackerel, prime example. I was speaking to him on Friday. His mum passed away, his girlfriend, long-term girlfriend, left him. He had to basically move into a new house. All this shit happened within the space of like 2 months. And he was like right on the edge, and he still, like, it rocked him around. Even now, he'll have periods of time when he's just like, he'll just post on Facebook, anyone want to come to my house and just have a chat? Like, literally just come over and chat, because he lives by himself with his dog, whatever. And I just message him because all of his friends, he posts up on Facebook, anyone free tonight, just come around and have a chat, hang out. All his friends like, got to take bloody Jenny to school practice, I've got to take this, like, all just commenting all these excuses on why they couldn't come. And I was like, this is just a bit off. So I messaged him and we just had like a little chat, because obviously I can't just go to Shropshire as and when.
I've gigged for Donald before. He's a lovely man, actually.
But I said to him, I was like, no one that you ever know in comedy who's really funny had a really easy life and has had an easy run, because otherwise they're not funny. There's no need to be funny. Like, really hot, beautiful, attractive people, they're not that funny. They don't have to be.
And I think
they never have to try.
No, I think it's
everyone just likes them.
I don't think it's just comedy. I think it's
when they get to 50.
No, it's anyone who's creative. It's anyone who's. Are you talking about yourself?
No.
Oh, right.
No, I'm just talking about
He's not got to 50 yet.
People that have been beautiful all their life, and they've never really had to try, and then they get to 50 and they start asking you out, and you're like, fuck off. It's too late. You're decaying.
Have we got from depression?
That's what he just said. He was rattling on in the corner there about fucking this, that, and the other, and he said something I've had to answer. And also as well, do you think can white people be racist against other white people? Do you think that's a thing? Give me an example.
No, I don't. Oh, so hang on. So let's say I'm Australian and I'm racist against English people.
Okay. So go, you smelly English bastard.
Yeah. So white people, different groups of white people. But if I'm Australian, I can't be racist against Australians, because that's what I am. That's what I identify as. Okay. It's like, for example, you can't be transphobic if you are trans.
Okay.
If you're making jokes about trans people, but you are trans or you are gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can joke about your own group. That's fine.
Okay. What about
I hate slags.
Ghosts.
Fuck fucking hate them.
I don't. I'm marrying one.
You gave her the key to your house, you fucking idiot.
What a prick. No, I think going back to the depression thing, I think it's just creative people in general, because you're creating something and you want to do well. It's that need to do well and be accepted for your work and what you've done.
Blessed, I'm telling you, if you're blessed with a creative mind, you curse with one.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm missing, because I haven't really had a hard upbringing.
Right.
My upbringing was pretty nice.
Oh, I was the worst.
I've got a good paying job, a nice house, I've relocated to a new country, set up a nice life for myself. Like,
fucking asshole.
The hardest...
Should we just leave?
Should we beat him? Let's give him something to write about. Let's beat him.
The reason that I got into comedy is I had like a micro 3-month period when I got here. I thought I would get here and I'd get a radio job straight away. I came from radio in Australia. I thought I'd just walk straight in, and the rejection of going to BBC, going to Capital, going to Heart, Smooth, these different networks, XS, and them all just being like, no, we're not hiring you, was like devastating for me. Then I also had no friends. The weather was terrible. It rained all the time. And I was like, I need to find some joy. So I got into comedy.
All right.
And that was it. And then comedy's brought me nothing but pain and suffering ever since.
Good.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm so glad to hear
it.
Because when you get into it, you want to do well, and it's so competitive comedy. And you know this. I have to say, I've met some of the best people I've ever known in my life on the comedy circuit. Some of the best friends ever, but I've also met a lot of fucking assholes as well along the way.
Name and shame.
No, I'm not naming and shaming.
Name one though.
No,
Come on.
no. Lomas.
Suck shit like
Love you, Simon.
I don't.
Get him.
No, he knows. He knows I love him.
So guys, I know that you are both conspiracy theory nuts, and I wanted to have a chat to you about Bob Lazar and UFOs.
Great.
What do you know that I don't?
But I only knew about Bob Lazar after I actually met Steve. I knew about Area 51.
He wasn't in Area 51.
Well, he was near Area 51. It was a sub-branch of Area 51.
S4 he was at.
Right, if we're being specific.
I do need specific.
Before we met, I'd been watching stuff. I had a big fascination with the moon and the universe and aliens and things like that. And I always thought, like, there has to be life on other planets. It's impossible for me in my head and my thinking that we can't be the only species in all the planets, and that's just in our solar system. There's, it spreads beyond that. So obviously when I met Steve brainwashed me much more.
Steve took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, he took it to another level, and then I found out about Bob Lazar.
What do you know?
Well, the stuff I've watched on him, it seems like, to keep with the same story for
30 years.
Yeah, 30 years. And
with no gain, no financial gain.
No, he's not.
He never takes any money for anything, and he's been shot at. He's had his life threatened. I'm
surprised he's still alive, actually.
Well, it's a dead man's trigger, isn't it? If they kill Bob Lazar now, they're just going to prove it. It's right. That's what's. Dr. Stephen Gray released a documentary called Sirius as his dead man's trigger, because he knows everything. He knows all the stuff about this kind of thing. So he made the documentary based on everything that he knew, because he knew he was getting close and he was getting threats. So he made it to protect his own life. So that's kind of what's keeping Bob Lazar alive, because you kill Bob Lazar and everything he said's true, then it's solidified.
Do you really think so? Do you really think that if he dies...
Not now.
Not now.
But years ago, when it was at its peak, I think now it's been...
When was it at its peak?
In the 80s.
Okay. So he was... So I know he took a group of people to an area and he said there's going to be a test flight or a testing done tonight this time, and all of those people, although they're not friends now, none of them get along, there's no real way for them to corroborate and match up stories. They all say exactly the same thing.
That's right.
But at that time, are you saying they should have killed him?
Well, yeah, if they could, they should have. and they could have then, but it because it had blown up, because he was a whistleblower. So he came out and said, I've been at Groom Lake, I've been working at S4, I've seen anti-gravitational mechanisms inside
force fields,
mainly made UFO, energy propulsion systems in fossil fuel building. It was based on a very powerful anti-gravitational device.
So where did they come from? Have we got that information?
I think these guys were from the Pleiades constellation. They say they're from Pleiades or Zeta Reticuli. There was something to do with the Greys. Anyway, the Grey aliens, which are they're the most popular alien, aren't they? Around there, the grey image, with the guys.
Please don't switch off.
So you believe in aliens?
Yeah.
You believe in aliens?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you not?
I don't know.
Don't be ridiculous.
I don't know enough about it.
You don't have to know
enough
about
about
it.
all you got to know is that the universe is 13.5 billion years old. Okay.
And beyond.
So which means that we are probably the youngest civilization in the whole of the universe. We are the youngest civilization in the whole of the universe. That means, 1,000 light years away, there will be a Goldilocks zone, which is a Goldilocks zone is the right combination of planet, sun, star, all that bollocks to create an atmosphere on a planet that's habitable. So 1,000 light years away. So these people are already a couple of thousand millennia ahead of us intellectually.
Right.
So these people could have mastered space flight, space travel, and all that. And they come in, they just look at you as flora and fauna. They don't really interact. It's like David Attenborough going into the Amazon and studying an anthill. He's not going to go in.
We're test subjects.
Keep talking. Simon Lomas is
here.
Is he? Let's bully him.
Let's twat him.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
I'm going to hide.
Oh, are you really?
All right, Simon.
Shall I just join in this one?
Yeah.
Hey,
He's scared him more.
Oh,
okay, Simon.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Simon Lomas is here. Here, Simon, take this chair. Hello.
Hiya, Simon.
We're just talking about conspiracy theories as we finish off.
Simon, you've walked into the best. Steve's at his prime now. He's loving it.
Yeah, in his element, isn't
Yeah.
Simon, do you believe in aliens?
No, I think it's a load of bullshit.
Here.
Wow.
Bullshit.
No, I don't know.
I mean, look at the shape of his head. He
He looks like
is
he's
an
come
alien.
from
He's a
another
grey.
planet.
He's a grey alien. Look. I know he's just going to try and put you off the scent. Right.
Do you reckon?
Do I reckon what?
Are you an alien?
Nah.
Sounds like something an alien would say.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe in them. I think it's obviously it's possible, isn't it? But
yeah.
Where are they?
Well,
where are they, Steve?
Show me the aliens, Steve.
All right, you just wait.
Steve, what would
Simon,
you do?
Was gonna make it like a
what would you do if you met an
alien?
alien?
To scare you with.
What would I do if I met an alien?
Yeah.
And it was with a UFO.
Oh, we've discussed it.
I
He would leave me.
I would board the UFO.
He would leave me for the aliens. He's told me this.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you want to have sex with the aliens?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
You're marrying this man.
I know.
And he wants to fuck aliens.
I know.
Yeah. Well, if I fuck her, I'd fuck anything, wouldn't
I? Get this on.
Jesus.
So basically, who wouldn't take up the opportunity to get on board a spacecraft with some creatures from another planet?
A rational person.
Yeah, and then they sort of,
I love the aliens, but there's no way I would be leaving into outer space. I'd run a fucking mile.
What would you be expecting? Would you want them to sell it to you before you got on the ship, or would you just go?
I'd just go.
Were they just like, where we live, it's pretty shit, and you're like, show me?
Yeah.
He loves the aliens.
Absolutely.
More than me.
Would you let me have a go of the ship? What you do? You put your hands in this goo, and then you just think about where you're going. And you end up there.
See, I believe in aliens, but sometimes I just think, Steve.
I'll end up at the Comedy Cellar in New York by accident. I'm like, fucking hell, what's to do here?
You literally sound like a fucking
and
madman.
they do loads of tests on him. They do loads of tests.
Anal probing.
And they drop him back off, and he'd be like, Lindsey, I'm really sorry. I'd be like, fuck off.
Do you think he'd be a good test subject? Do you think he'd give them the results they were looking for?
No.
No.
They've definitely picked the wrong person.
He'd get off the table and they'd just be like, yeah, your cholesterol's a bit high.
It is! No, it's my actually.
Your
He's
blood
got high
pressure's
blood
up. Your
pressure.
blood
High blood pressure.
You need to go and see your doctor and stop drinking.
Do you reckon if they're like 1,000 light years ahead of us, though, they've probably got like cures for all of these problems?
Of course
So
they
maybe
have.
it might be better for you to go with them, because if you stay here and all you've got's fucking Bupa to help you out.
Yeah,
you know?
that's right. That's why I'm going actually.
Yeah, because you don't trust the private health
Yeah,
system.
and of course they'll have a super weapon because they're so advanced, and they'll steal the super weapon and come back to the Earth and hold everybody ransom and demand world peace.
Where would you start holding people ransom? Would you start in Warrington?
America.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not just going to go down to...
No, I just point it.
Steve, switch off. You're going
Central
too
America.
far.
Why? Why is that too far?
People are going to like.
He's casually talking about...
I'm asking
that there's aliens out there.
I've got a super weapon and I'm asking for world peace. What's wrong with that?
The people listening to this, he's literally talking about getting an alien weapon and holding the government ransom in exchange for peace. The most peaceful display in exchange for peace.
There you go.
Oh my god.
I hope they take you.
Thanks.
I hope they do.
So do
Serve
I.
you right.
So do I.
Right. Well, we're done with this now. It's gone completely and utterly insane.
We've gone from comedy to the weirdest. You've weirded everything out again, Steve.
Steve's walked out. He's had enough.
Paul Simon.
Right, Lindsay. Oh no, she's choking him out. Now Lindsay's choking him out. Okay. All right. They're on the floor wrestling. Simon, do you want to do any promotion for them?
Simon, save yourself!
Simon, do you know anything that they're promoting?
They've got a new comedy agency. Gifted the Gag comedy. That's it, right? Lindsay, are you doing a show or anything?
We're doing a variety show.
Oh, I'm doing that as well.
Yes,
actually.
Simon's doing it with us. We're doing a variety show at the Frog and Bucket.
When is it? September.
Steve just
yes,
got
8th of
fucked
September. People need to come because they're going to see Steve rap.
Yeah. Promote the LGBT show.
Yes, and the LGBT show is on the 25th of August, which Katie Trace is MCing. We have Eddie Fortune, Jenny B-Side, and the superb Jonathan Mayer.
Beautiful.
It's going to be a splendid night.
It's been a great joy and an honour to have my first almost married couple on the podcast.
We're not married yet.
Well, that's why I said almost married. But also a little bit of domestic assault there.
That's normal. We
so-
trashed a hotel room in Brighton.
Oh God.
We trashed a hotel
You
room
need
in
to tell
Brighton.
me. Are you okay to wait for this?
Yeah, I can wait, mate.
All right. What happened in the hotel?
I'd not seen Steve for a week because he'd gone to Mexico, and then when he landed from Mexico, he was doing Comedia at Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
So I hired a car to drive down because I'd not seen him, and I'd done a gig in Stoke at the ROFL club, and then I headed off to Brighton. So I only got to Steve about 2:00 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So which was lovely. He'd prepared, he had cheese and crackers laid out for me, loads of snacks, bottle of red wine and stuff because he knew I'd had a long drive.
Aww.
So we was up to 4 in the morning. So we was quite drunk at this point. And you could call it foreplay. But we started jabbing one another and wrestling. We wrestled quite a lot and mess about. And
it seems like you usually win those wrestles.
I do.
Because
I do.
she's very, very strong.
He says I've got gypsy strength.
She's got Romany travelling gypsy strength.
Anyway, he pinned me down and he's like, get out of that. So I picked him up with my legs and I twisted him upside down and dropped him on his head at the side of the bed, which were,
But of course,
you see, the glass of wine smashed up the wall. Other side, leg went, smashed the other glass at the other side, coffee went over. We woke up, we just passed out fighting.
How romantic.
Yeah.
You passed out fighting.
We'll fight on our wedding night, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
We'll trash that hotel room at the wedding.
I mean, we woke up
Do you
in the
fight
morning.
out of anger, or is it like...
No,
it's
never.
fun. It's
Never.
fun. Yeah, it's great fun.
We never
We never fought.
See, I can never like even play fight with my missus because I did submission grappling and cage fighting in Australia. So I let her win for a bit and then she starts to get it over on me and I just can't hack it. So then I hurt her or put her in a position where she's trapped and then she cries.
That's right.
No,
that's right. Yeah.
Fuck off. He's lying.
That's exactly.
Do I ever cry?
Exactly, no, you
'Cause
don't
he
cry.
knows.
You cry in pain. You
Yeah.
go, oh God, Steve,
But then I get up.
I broke my algia. Oh God. I'm like.
But then I get up and I'm like,
that's made up.
come on, big boy, fucking get up now. And I beat him. I've beaten him at boxing. I've beaten him at wrestling.
No, I had enough of boxing and turned away and you punched me in the back of the head. It's an illegal move.
I was winning.
It's illegal.
I was winning.
You wasn't winning. I was just tired.
Whatever.
Right, I'll get out now. We'll see who the real winner is. Thank you so much for coming, guys.
I'm going.